Hello, everybody. Welcome back to 30 Seconds Excel Solve. Here we are again with another lesson. This is the second lesson that we are going to learn together. We saw yesterday on the first lesson, we saw how to create tables and how to format tables later on. And basically, what we did is what we currently have on this spreadsheet that is in our screen share. Now, today we are going to learn more than this. We are going to learn how to insert rows or insert columns on our table. And we are going to learn also how to delete rows or columns. Another thing that we are going to learn is how to edit your table by copying and pasting values from your record cells, from one cell to another cell or from one row to another row. We will learn also how to move a table, how to cut and paste the table. So we will see a lot of these things. And the last thing that we will see for this session is we are going to see how to use quick styles for formatting, which is something very easy to be done and is very useful for any table. So we are going to start first with inserting and removing rows or column, and that's pretty easy how to do that. So for inserting a record or a row, you have just to go to one row, and then you have the opportunity to add one row above just by right clicking and put insert, the first option, the first method. And the second method, you can go directly to your toolbars, and on the command bar home, you click on insert and you put there insert cells. So if you put insert cells, you will see that you have the proper values added. Other than that, we can add even on columns in the same way. You select the column and you put insert. And if you selected this big column, that insert will be in front of this big column. So will be created that. So if I click insert, you see that it's created in front of that really big column. So I'll undo this, or I can delete this just by right clicking and go delete, or selecting both of these columns and go to delete cells on the toolbar. Now I am in the position where I was. So this is how to manipulate the records, how to add columns, how to add variables on your table. But that's not the only thing that we can do on a table. We can move specific values or records by copying and pasting those through the table. For doing that, I'm going to insert one row on my table. Here it is. And I'm going to copy one record that was previously entered. So for copying, you have first to select. So you select, for example, everything that is on row 5, and that is done by holding the left mouse and dragging that from column A to column I. And then you click from your keyboard Control C, or you can right click and click on copy. And as you can see now is a moving shape there. And I can go to the first cell where I want to copy this record and put Control V from keyboard, or paste from right click option. So now I pasted the same record, so I can change that to my proper values, as you can see. Another options, I will undo this, is to move a record. So let me undo this. And let's suppose that we want to move this record from this position to this position. For doing that, we can cut and paste, not copy and paste. And for cutting and paste, really you have just to select that record, here it is, and then right click and go to cut, or put Control X from keyboard. And I click cut, and then I go to the cell that I want to paste or to move, and I click paste. And here it is now. As you can see, this is moved. The second record is moved. So basically, this is how you can do this manipulation, editing on your table. You can move even single variables or single rows somewhere from to somewhere. As you can see here, for example, we have drop down, but on the second row here, so we don't have any data validation there in drop down. So for copying and pasting the values above, we just select that value. We click copy, Control C, and we click paste, Control V, and now you have that opportunity. So basically, these are manipulations that you can do on your tables using these editing tools like cut, copy, paste. And other than that, you can move even the full table, the full way what you have edited previously. You can move that just by selecting that, and I'm selecting that. And when you select that, you just click Control X, which means you cut that, and you want to place that somewhere else. If you go to row 15, for example, you put Control V, which is paste, and now you see that the whole table is moved. And basically, now we are in position where all of our editing tools really are learned a little bit. So you can try by yourself a lot of tricks using these editing tools. Another way how you can move the table is just by selecting that table and then go to the border of that table where the crossbar changes from that white uh, crossbar to this thin crossbar, really. And now you left click and hold your mouse, left click mouse, and you drag that where you want to move that. And here it is, I move how I can move that. So basically, these are editing tools. Hopefully, those helps in your um, daily work or anything that you are working on Excel. So after that, we are going to learn a last thing for today, which is the quick styles of format. So what we did yesterday is we spent a lot of time trying to format this table. I'm going to copy and paste this table that we had in the beginning, but now I'm going to paste that just as values. So this was our first look of the data. So this was the structure of the data. Now I will change this birth date because this birth date here is a number. Why is a number? Because it's a difference between current date and the first date of 1900. So that's the difference. That's why we are seeing this such high number. But if I select those and change the format of those to short date by going on the toolbar and pick short date, now I have the proper date. So this was basically my table in the beginning, the structure of the table where I started yesterday. Now I'm going to teach you one trick that is very important when you create tables. So there are ways that you can manipulate using your ways on formatting, but that's not the most correct way on formatting tables. The most correct way is using the format as table option on our toolbars there. As you can see, you have a lot of opportunities of formatting your table. But for formatting your table, you have first to select the structured table data. And here it is. Now, this table has a header row and the records down that header. Now that I have selected, I can go to format as table. And I can select one of the styles that is in this format as table. And I can select this, for example. There is a pop-up window that comes up that is asking where is the data for your table. And I have selected currently the data for my table, but that's not the only thing that this pop-up table is asking. It is asking even if my table has headers or not. And in my case, this table has headers, so I'm going to click OK. And after clicking OK, as you can see, now this is a formatted table. A formatted table, and I didn't do nothing, just selected the proper style that is there. So basically, you can see that this is much easier to what we did in the beginning. And this has a lot of good things itself because this is a formatted table. Now, this is more a table, a kind of a database table where all of these headers are really variables. And we will see together how that works because when you make calculations on a formatted table, that differs from making calculations on non-formatted table. So let's make a calculation here. Let's suppose that we want to make the salary. We are going to make simple calculations. And what we are going to do is make just a multiplication between the salary itself and the years of experience. Let's suppose that we want to know how much salary was he got on these years of experience. Let's suppose that. So we click enter and we see that this was the amount. And as you can see, nothing is shown on the rows below. If you want to show that value on the rows below, you have to drag the, the formula. But what happens if I do the same formula in the formatted table? Now, if I'm going to apply the formula, it is a multiplication between the salary, and as you can see, it is not writing anymore, an address, but it is writing a variable, which is the variable salary multiplied with the variable years of experience. And if I click enter, you will see that now the calculation is going through all the records. So starting from salary and going up to years of experience, making the proper calculations there. And you can rename this column and say, for example, that is multiply, and there it is. You can see that now I have another variable on my table called multiply, which is very good, but is not the last thing that I have done on my table, because my format table has a lot of opportunities in it. And I can change a lot of things through the design of this format table. So for doing that, I can select my table as it is and go to design on the command bar. And now I have the opportunity to change a lot of things here. Like, for example, if I want to show a total row, or if I don't want banded rows. And as you can see, these banded rows are not anymore shown. Or if I want to show the first column with a specific color as I had in the beginning. So basically, these are options that you can change here, and those are good opportunities to use really. So basically, the quick styles format is very, very good for um, every analysis that you can do, but because in this case you are going to consider real variables, not just a simple reference, because references change all the time, but variables, are what they are. So now we learned how to work with formatting as table, but that's not the only thing. The last thing that we will learn today is how to create your own style on this format as table. And for doing that, you have just to go to this formatted table, select first this table, and you go to format as table, and then you go to new table style, which is your style. So you are going to create a style, and I'm going to rename this style to my name. So here it is. And now I have the table elements that I want to create a preview format, which is basically what I will show on my table. So for the whole table, for example, I will format all of the borders and go to border. And then let's suppose that I want all borders to be red, and I will pick this red. As you can see, I'm selecting all of the borders and click OK. Now the preview is showing the layout that I just chose. Then I want to select the first column, which in my case is filled with blue, same as here. So I go to Format and go to Fill and select this blue. blue color. I click OK, and as you can see now I have the column there. The last thing is put the header row, and the header row, here it is. You go to the header row, go to format, and now for the format I will pick this effect here, this fill effect, and you click OK. And on the header row, I can change even the font there, going there and change the color to be blank or white, and click bold, and there's OK. We click OK. The last thing that I will add on my style is go a total row and click format. And for the total row, I will put the fill as a yellow, for example, and click for the font to be bold and click OK. Now, as you can see, this is a new format. I click OK. Nothing changed here. Is why didn't change anything? Because I didn't select the proper style that I just created. I created just a style. Now, for applying that to my table, I have to select this table, go to Format as Table, and as you can see, this is my custom style. And if I select that, here it is what I programmed previously, which has the same opportunities like all of the formatted tables that are here. So if I add a subtotal now or a total row, here it is a total row, you can see that here I have the opportunity to change what I want to see on the total row. For example, I can select the sum, or I can select here the average, or I can select here the count, and let me do here the maximum. So you have opportunities to analyze your data on formatted table, because those are basically very good formatted tables. It looks similar to tables that are part of a database. So basically, this is what I wanted to show you today. We saw a lot of things today regarding editing options, regarding moving tables from one place to another, and also with quick styles and formatted table based on very good logical reason. So I'm hoping that this helps you on your daily job. Let me know for your questions on this video. So just put a comment there, or you can write an email to my to our email, which is Excel Solve, as you can see in the description. Let me know also if you have any query that you want to bring on other videos. And don't forget to subscribe on our YouTube channel, which is for your help, and we want to create more and more videos. Follow, please, the Facebook page, 30 Seconds Excel Solve. Thanks for watching again. I'm hoping to see you on the next video. Bye then.